what a comfy
You get
seat.
this everywhere you go.
Not at home. I walk in the house, I have to like look for people. Hello, I'm home. Anybody? You know, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, welcome to New York.
Thank you.
Welcome to the 92nd Street Y.
Even thank you more.
So,
yeah.
So before we get into your truly incredible special for Netflix, Not Normal, I want to go back.
Thank you.
Seriously, if you have not seen it, you've got to see it. And you will see it. Okay, good. All right. I've seen it twice. All right. But before we talk about Not Normal, I want to go back to January 11th, 2017. That was when the episode of Blackish entitled Lemons. Oh, is this a serious audience, Wanda? That's when the Blackish episode Lemons aired. You were nominated for an Emmy.
Right.
For that. Your first nomination for acting.
For acting,
For
yes.
acting.
Yes.
And that episode was all about how the cast was trying to come to grips with this upset, and that was the election of Donald Trump as president. Just for those who haven't seen it.
Still trying to get over it. Still trying to process this.
Without giving away too much about Not Normal, talk about what it was like taping that and the emotions in that that you had, that the cast had at that time.
When we read the script, I don't know, it was hard. It really was, it was hard, but it was also very like therapeutic because because we were all going through this thing of, I mean, not the cast as far as individually, but I'm just saying, it just felt like just in just around your neighbors and everything. Like when you would talk to someone, you would look at them and it's like, I bet this motherfucker voted for Trump. we were all looking at each other with the side eye like, was it you? It was you, right? You know. And the people who voted for Trump but weren't like really like, you know, vocal Trump supporters, they were kind of like, yeah, I kind of did it, but I really don't want to explain myself right now, you know? So that episode, it was, I welcomed it because I was like, finally, let's break the ice. Let's start talking about it. And to be able to talk about it in that setting at an office, you know, can you design it where we can actually have a real dialogue instead of this, you're an asshole, you voted for Trump, you're a racist, you know, and well, you just voted for the other guy back then because he was black, and you know, it was able to actually talk about it. Yeah.
Right. I mean, you in that episode, y'all did do all of that stuff, but it was done in a very
But we had to be funny.
No, it was funny. You did it in a nuanced way.
Right, very nuanced, yes.
And you were sitting across the table from the white woman who voted for Trump, and you're like, you're real silent here. The only white woman here, and you're not saying anything. And then she admits she voted for Donald Trump.
Right.
And the episode comes to an end where folks are like, well, let's give him a chance. And some are saying, well, I'm scared, and I don't know what's going to happen. Fast forward to now and Not Normal. And before you say anything, for those of you, I guess the few of you who have not seen the special, I'm gonna play this clip that sort of answers Lemons in a way. I swear it's coming.
You know how they say some women have resting bitch face? Well, Trump has given me resting what the fuck face. Every morning I'm looking in the mirror like, what the fuck is he? What? I got crow's feet. I got a fucking divot in my forehead. Like, he has cracked black.
I think I said, I howled. I howled at that because, you know, we've got that saying, black don't crack.
Right.
But Trump has cracked black.
He is cracked black. He is cracked black. I mean, literally, he is cracked black. I mean, every morning, if I wake up and I look on my phone, I'm like, okay, what is it now? Let's see. And you look, and there's always something. There's always something, and you just wrinkle your face like, I don't understand. I don't understand how this is happening. And I still don't. I mean, I do, but I'm just, I'm saying, it makes you speechless, right? Like, we all get to that point where you just get tongue-tied. I mean, like what the fuck? What is going on?
See,
like, this, it's just not normal. Like, our reaction to, you know, the president lying every day and several times a day. And our reaction to it, it's like we've become complacent. Like, well, you know, that's what we're doing now.
It's so bad. As part of the clip, what comes after that joke is another hilarious one. It's like how presidents, usually in office, they age. You know, President Obama aged, President Bush aged, but with Trump, he's looking the same. But he's aging us.
We're aging.
And
we're aging, yeah.
And tell that.
Well, I'm saying, like, yeah, if he gets another, you know, term, I'm gonna look like Cicely Tyson. I know that. I'm gonna. Like, is that Cicely Tyson? No, that's me. It's me.
So, well, look, you start out the show by saying to people, look, if you voted for Trump, you made a mistake again.
Yeah, you're here to see me. Yeah.
Right. So let's talk about President Trump some more. I would love to get your thoughts, if you've been paying attention at all, to his overseas trip to London.
Anytime he goes anywhere, and like, especially outside the country, it's so embarrassing. It's just you're embarrassed, and you're on edge. You're on edge, right? Because, like, when he was talking to the guards, to the British guards, and he was talking to them, I was just going, oh, Lord Jesus, what is he saying? I hope he's not asking him, can he try on the hat? What is he doing? Get him out of there, come on. I mean, it really is like taking, it's like taking your, you know, like your drunk college friend to your boss's party. Right?
Oh yeah. No, that's
and you're
fraught with
sitting there
danger.
trying to have a cocktail, talking to you. You say, yes, what? Yeah. Oh, is Steve talking to my boss? Oh, hold on, man. Steve, get over here. What you doing? You know, it literally is. You feel like that. That's how I feel when Trump leaves the country. And you can see the other world leaders are just like. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
So you were that way with him and with the guards and the tall hats. What about with the Queen?
You can just see she's just utterly disgusted that she has to be there with him, and he's like, she's a great, great, great woman. And whenever he goes off book, it's always great, great, really great. Just stay on the page. Just stay on the, you know. I'm surprised he didn't, like, give her a bear hug or something, you know.
He attacked Meghan Markle.
And then lied and say he didn't say it. We're listening to the audio right next to you saying you didn't say it. What the?
I mean, I know he makes you tongue-tied, but are you? And he makes me tongue-tied too, to the point where I'm like you on air, where I'm like,
right.
But I can't say what the fuck
on
air.
I know.
I'm sorry,
but you
Mom.
do a great job, though. But you do a great job.
Well, thank you. But,
yeah.
but did you think even though you're like, I don't want this man to be president, oh my God, he's president, did you even think that he would be this bad, this embarrassing?
Yes. I had no doubt. I mean, absolutely.
He held out no hope whatsoever that he would rise to the occasion.
Look, it's not in him. It is just not in him to do that. You know, I mean, from attacking, you know, Gold Star families to, you know, mocking a disabled person, you know, grab him by the pussy. I mean, I'm a Howard Stern fan, so I knew who this guy was, you know, back then. I heard all the garbage and stuff. And, you know, and just the racist shit and all that, you know, attack on women. I mean, if he weren't president right now, he would be in court on so many different, you know, sexual harassment and assault charges right now. You know, being in office is basically saving him from prison right now. He needs to be. He was like, shit, how can I get out of this? I better become president. That's the only thing I can get out. How I can get away with this stuff, you know.
So you have you were just talking about world leaders sort of looking at President Trump, sort of like, and there's a sense there that they don't really respect him. And in your special, Not Normal, you have a bit in there about how we know that the people around him don't respect him.
Right.
How does that manifest itself? Or how did it manifest itself?
The moment that I saw him aboard Air Force One with toilet paper on the back of his shoe, I said, they don't like him. Everyone around him who works for, they cannot stand him. They have no respect for this man. I mean, you would stop a stranger
I mean,
to
it's
get
true.
toilet paper off their shoe. I've almost like missed a flight because I'm at my gate and I see someone walking by with toilet paper. I was like, I can't let that happen. You know, I run down, get the toilet paper off. But no, they just let him go. And he's walking past Marine guards. They see everything. Mm-hmm. But they're like, you see that? Yep. Think it's fitting. Yeah. Awful.
Now compare. This is such. Compare him to President Obama, and I know it's a total softball question, but
yeah, it's polar opposites. I mean, where do you begin? Yeah, I can't even think of. Okay, let's start with what they have in common. Let's see, they're both men. We think, you know, but that's about it. There's no comparison. I mean, nothing. It amazes me how all the stuff that Trump has done, right? Lied every day. Remember President Obama's first State of the Union address, and one of the congressmen yelled out, "You lie." During his State of the Union, Union address.
Wilson.
Yeah, Congressman Wilson, right?
South Carolina.
Yeah, and the Republicans kind of rallied behind him.
He raised money off that.
I don't think he was censured. Yeah, right. Raised money off of that. That's how disrespectful was that? But yet we have a president who lies several times a day, every day, and the Democrats just sit around and like, well, that wasn't true. He didn't tell the truth. Being a Democrat is like getting an atomic wedgie every day right now. I feel like that.
Wait, so you don't think the Democrats aren't doing enough? Are you impeach him right now?
Yes, I am. Absolutely, and not just absolutely. And it's not just and it should be every member of Congress. I mean, do your damn job. Protect our democracy. Protect our democracy. But now it's come down to, you know, Democrats, Republicans, and I mean, the Republicans, they're just going all party and they don't give a shit about the country, you know? And the Democrats now, they're just as guilty because now they're worried about the next election instead of worried about us turning into a dictatorship. I mean, you just let this thing go bigger and bigger, and the more powerful he becomes. Now, I mean, look what's going on with women. Look at what's going on, rolling back, you know, they're attacking our rights as far as what we can do with our bodies. You know, look, transgenders out of the military. I mean, come on, do your damn job.
So you got a candidate for 2020? There are 24 of them. I think 24.
Right,
of
right.
them right
I
now.
want a complete, like, I want a 180. You know, a 180. I don't want an old white man. I don't want an old white man.
What's wrong with Joe Biden? Or Bernie Sanders?
If Joe Biden gets a boyfriend, he has my vote. Right now, I want, it's gonna be, for me, Kamala Harris, Elizabeth Warren, or Pete Buttigieg. That's my three.
So Harris, Warren, Buttigieg.
Yep, and unless Biden gets a boyfriend.
Mm-hmm. Well, so just to keep going down this little rabbit hole. Mm-hmm. So why Kamala Harris? Why is she one of your three?
She's super smart, right? I like the things that she wants to do as far as with healthcare, gun control, and with education, right? And reform, criminal justice reform.
And why Elizabeth Warren?
Super smart. I think she will be great with all those things too, healthcare, you know, college, and what she did with protecting consumers with the credit cards and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. I think she'd be amazing. She would do the most for the majority of people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she's not about super rich. I think she will help, especially bring back the middle class. I think she will enact a lot of policies that will help that. And she would also make corporations pay their fair share.
Okay. And Mayor Pete, who I sat down with here a couple weeks ago,
right?
Who very impressive. Why him, to your mind?
Again, I'm going with super smart, right? He speaks, I don't know how many different languages.
8.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, yeah. And I think socially, he just hits all the right spots for me, mm-hmm. or all the right issues. And I think, yeah, just like super progressive. And also I think he has the I don't want to say charisma, because we don't need anybody with more charisma, but
I hear you. He has something
where he could cross over to middle America, and I think could win a lot of them over too.
Is America ready for a gay married president?
I wasn't ready for a dictator, and, you know. Shit.
Fair enough. So with those three, if either one of them becomes the nominee, they're going to have to go on the debate stage with President Trump. If they came to you and said, Wanda, I need some one-liners, I need something that'll break through, what would you tell them? Do you have some already lined up? Zingers, something? How would you advise them to go to battle with Donald Trump?
Here's the thing. If you try to, you gotta go back at him, you know. And and don't let him lie. If he lies, just call it out and just call his lies out. And then also tell him he's an idiot. So that doesn't make any sense what you just said. That, you know, you're an idiot. Mm-hmm. and also I would, yeah, and I would say, about I would hit them with the tax returns. Here's the thing, okay, I don't understand our system that we allow people to become president, right? And they get their hands on top secret material, right? Information. You should have to pass a security clearance before you can even run to be president. That's what I think we need to do.
Oh. So then
Donald Trump would never have passed a security clearance.
right, he would,
He's compromised.
or as we say, he
He
wouldn't
has
vet.
too much. He owes too much money. He was in too much debt to too many different, countries, the Russians, Chinese. He never would have passed a security clearance.
Mm-hmm.
Easily compromised. His whole family never would have passed a security clearance. I used to work for NSA. I had a security clearance. They never would have passed one.
Well, see, this guy, you like revealed one of the things I wanted to bring up is that before you got into comedy, you worked for the NSA
Yes.
for 5 years?
It was just 92. Yeah. Yes.
For 5 years. Why?
Well, when you live in the Washington, D.C. area, you end up working for the government or you work for a contractor who deals with government contracts. My dad was in the Army, retired colonel. My mom worked at the credit union there at NSA. I got out of college and it was like, okay, what's the move? And it was, okay, I'm at NSA.
Can you talk about what your job was at the NSA?
I just bought things. I was a contracting specialist. So I bought things.
For the NSA?
Yeah, I bought interesting things. Yeah.
Like what?
Fun things. Anything from like furniture to like a piece of equipment or something.
A piece of equipment.
Yeah. Trust me,
That
everything that
takes
I did back
magazines,
then.
satellites.
Probably a lot of that stuff. Sometimes it was just blueprints. I was like, what the hell is this? But okay, I'll order it,
And why? And so when did?
I would just send the blueprints out to someone. Can you build this? And
So when you were at the NSA, buying things,
right.
Is that when the comedy bug hit, or was the comedy bug always there, and you took the NSA job because you?
The comedy bug was always there, but I think it hit while I was at NSA because I got to a point where I was like, oh my God, I will not do this for the next 20, 30 years of my life. This can't be it. I will die sitting here. And don't get me wrong, the people there, wonderful people, they do a great job. But it was just something in me saying, I don't belong here. When you work for the government, like every, I forgot how many, 40 hours you work, you get 8 hours of, I think it's 8 hours, or 4 hours. You have 4 hours of sick leave and 4 hours of annual leave every pay, right? But the thing was, everyone was just trying to save up like 240 hours. They call it, get it in the hole. So that way you have, all this time saved up for, vacations or whatever, your paid leave. I would look at my paycheck and I was like, oh shit, I got 4 hours. Woo! Is it hot in here? It's hot in here, right? Okay, I think I'm gonna go home. I'm a little sick. I would just leave. I would leave. If I had 8 hours, I was like, oh shit, I ain't going to work today. And it got to the place where, then when I started doing stand-up, I was like, wow, God, I need to take Friday, y'all, because I'm gonna need Thursday and Friday, because I got a gig. And I would just, build it up, and I was like, now I can take that gig. And then it got to a point where I was like, this job is way too important, the work that we do, for me to, treat it the way that I'm behaving, So that's when I was like, for the love of my country, I should get out of here, I just pictured some poor guy standing in the middle of the desert like, when is that package coming? What's going on?
So then while you were at the NSA, you
But I
are
kicked
studying.
ass doing Desert Storm, though. I did. I kicked ass doing Desert Storm. I got an award for that, doing that.
Keep going.
That's all I'm saying.
What do you mean that you can't just say
We
that?
had to buy a lot of shit during that time.
And you got an award for buying stuff?
You know what? I racked up a lot of overtime then. Yeah, I think I took off like the next 2 weeks after that. No.
Wait, seriously, did you get an award during Desert Storm for? No.
It was, I did, but it was just doing our department. We did a great job.
Employee of the Month.
Logistics.
At the NSA.
No. It was a bunch of us. Logistics, that's all. Let me shut up.
Okay.
That was a long time ago. I know nothing. I know.
Right. Okay, so during that time, you're starting to do stand-ups. So take me to that that first time you wrote a joke. The first time you went to someone and said, like, hey, I want to be a stand-up comedian. Like, where does that nerve come from?
Well, you know what? I really was, I should say, kind of pushed into it from, not pushed into it. Okay, I remember like just sitting at in my house going, what am I supposed to be doing with my life? Everything that up to that point, it was seemed like it was just planned out. Like I knew, my parents were like, you're going to college. Okay, so I did that. And then it was like, okay, now you go get a job. Okay, I did that. So now it's like, well, what do you want to do? And I remember looking through my my high school yearbook, and a lot of my friends and even teachers had, autographed the book, and they would say, you should be on stage, or thanks for making class so much, so much fun. You should be on stage. And then I looked through my college yearbook, and people were saying the same thing. You're so funny. You should be on stage. I was like, maybe I should try this out. So I wrote some jokes. I remember watching Whoopi Goldberg's HBO special.
The long, luxurious blonde hair.
Luxurious hair, yeah. And I remember, as a kid, I loved Jackie Moms Mabley. I loved her. And I said, I'm just gonna write some jokes. And I sat down, wrote jokes, and.
Do you remember what your first joke was, or one of them?
Oh man, I remember. I know it was something about. Remember those auto shades? Those big cardboard sunglasses.
Oh yeah, they used to put in your car.
To keep your car cool.
Yeah.
Well, those things had instructions on the side of it. And I was like, if you don't know how to figure this out, you shouldn't even be driving. Because it was like, please remove the auto shade before starting your car. I'm like, and I was like, can you imagine driving down 95 and you see this big sunglasses coming towards you? Like, what the hell? So it was things like that.
So how many jokes did you compile before approaching someone to say, hey, let me do a set? Like, how does that work?
I had about 5 minutes, and I think it was Kiss FM. One of the radio stations was having a talent show sponsored by Coors Light. It was a Coors Light Super Talent Search, and comedy was a category. And instead of, you want to, try out, come down to the Classics, the club in DC. You come down and try out. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go down there. And I walked in. The guy was like, what are you here for? I said, I'm auditioning for the show. He was like, what you doing? I said, I'm some stand up. Because I'd never seen you before. I was like, my first time. So he said, okay, go ahead. It's just the two of us in this empty club. Yeah.
Wait, so you had an audience of one?
Yeah.
Whoa.
And I did the auto shade joke, and I forgot the other joke I did. And he said, be at the venue at, whatever, 7 o'clock on Sunday. You're in the contest. I'm like, all right, cool. And then I, show up that Sunday, going to the contest, and first time in front of a bunch of people, and I killed. And
Were you nervous at all?
No, because I didn't know any better. I'd never been in a comedy club. I didn't know you could bomb. I didn't know it could go horribly wrong. I didn't know that. So I just walked out, no fear, and just had a great time. And I was like, this is it. This is what I want to do. Yeah.
And so then When did reality hit?
When I went to the comedy clubs.
No. So, no, but so you said you walked in there naive. You didn't know.
Right.
You didn't know what it meant to bomb. When did you see the what could go wrong? When did you see somebody bomb and realize, oh?
In the comedy clubs.
Oh,
because the guy who was hosting the contest, Andy Evans, he was a local comic, and he was like, who are you and where did you come from? I was like, well, this is my first time. And he's like, okay. He goes, well, I'm going to take you around to the clubs. You know, meet me here on Thursday at the Comedy Cafe. I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm there, and I'm sitting in the back of the room, and he said, I'm emceeing. I'm going to get you up, do some time. I'm like, all right, cool. And I'm sitting in the back of the room, and actually Dave Chappelle was there also. We came up about the same time. And so I'm sitting there, and I watch a comic go up, and it was awful. I mean, just crickets. And I was like, well, that's not gonna happen to me. I'm funny. And then the next comic would go up, nothing. And I'm like, well, what? Okay, something's wrong with these people. Maybe it's these people. And then eventually I went up, and by then I was so, just intimidated by and just fear of what could happen. That horrible death, bombed.
Did you get crickets or did you get booed, heckled, all of the above?
There was a drunk guy in the front row. He was like, "Oh my God, come on!" Yeah, and I wanted to kick him in the teeth, but I was like, "Don't do that. That's not cool." But but I left, and Andy asked me. He said, "So you gonna come back?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm coming back." He was like, "All right, cool." He goes, "You're gonna be a good comic." I'm like, "Okay."
So what do you get from? Okay, so you bombed that time. You got crickets. You got kind of heckled by the drunk guy. But what do you get from the audience that helps you with your comedy? Do you rely on the audience, or are they just there to be entertained?
No, I'm here to entertain them. So I need them. You need the audience. Yeah, I mean, I'm not just doing jokes for me, you know. I'm trying to make people laugh, so I need the audience. And if the audience is with me, and even if they're not laughing, if I feel their energy and they're just rooting for me, and they just want to, they want to laugh, then I feed off of that.
What happens when you're doing a set and you're not feeling the energy? You just the plane's in a nosedive. How do you pull it out of a nosedive? Like you've got your jokes, you've got your routine. Do you improvise on the fly? Do you have like some sort of wild brain that helps you like come up with a joke on the fly?
Sometimes you can start making jokes about how awful it's going.
Does that really work?
Sometimes it does, and sometimes you just got to take the L. You're just like, well, this is not how I planned it tonight. And I usually go, I'm not gonna waste any more of your time. Yeah.
Oh, so you've like left early.
Oh, yeah.
You saw your 4 hours on your comp time, and you're like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Have you had a joke that worked in one show and didn't work in another, maybe same night, different venue? Why does a joke work in one place and not another? Is it the crowd? Is it the way you're telling the joke?
It could be timing. It could be maybe the checks are being dropped while you're telling the joke. You know what I'm saying? The waiters are giving you your check, so they're like, what would she say? What was it? And they miss it, or sometimes I notice just leaving out a word could change a joke. And there's sometimes I'll write a joke and I'm like, this is funny. Why is this not working? And you have to really just deconstruct the joke and go, okay, what are you trying to say? What makes this funny? And what piece of information am I not giving them where they can see what I'm seeing? Why this is funny? So sometimes it's just a word.
How long does it take you to write a joke?
It depends. Sometimes it just comes to me. Sometimes I don't. Yeah, like if I go, I want to write a joke about this thing. It takes me a while, but usually the funniest ones are the ones that just boom. They just through life observation. That's it. Like the other, like I'm always like on my kids about washing their hands, right? So the other I shouldn't. This probably go to my next special.
Is this
Anyway,
involving
but no,
Olivia or Lucas?
Lucas, about Lucas, and I was about to say, I was like saying something, like how I was proud of him. I was like, this is my son, I'm so proud of him, right? And he gets embarrassed, so he put his hands over my mouth. I was like, have you been playing with feet? What the hell? Making cheese balls? What the hell? Have you been doing? Go wash your hands, So, yeah.
And that's not even a joke you have to sit down and think about.
Yeah, I didn't have to think about it.
Well,
but I literally was like, scrub my face and everything. It was just.
So that's an easy joke. Did the, Donald Trump has cracked black?
Right.
Did that joke come as easily? Did the punchline come and then you tried to figure out how to get there?
I just stumbled onto that, I think, on stage one night because I just noticed that I'm always like, and it's like, oh, look at this. He's cracked black, yeah.
It's a genius line.
Thank you.
Did I already mention I watched it twice?
Yes.
Let's talk about another terrific thing you did recently. At least it aired relatively recently, and that was the live remake of The Jeffersons, where you played Louise Jefferson. Yes, Wheezy. And I didn't realize Norman Lear is 96 years old.
Yes.
So what was that like when you got the call? Hey, would you be interested in playing Louise Jefferson?
I got an email from Jimmy Kimmel, and I didn't believe it. It's like I looked on my phone, I read the email, and I was like, okay. And I just set my phone down for a little bit, and I was like, you made that up, didn't you? This is a fantasy you're doing. And I just waited for a little bit, and then I went and got my laptop, and I opened my laptop, and I was like, oh, it's still there. This is happening, and just overwhelmed. I mean, teary-eyed, everything. And the thing is, it was the 22nd, and I knew my Netflix special was coming out the 21st, so I had all this publicity lined up to go out and promote my special. So I emailed Jimmy, and I said, Jimmy, I so want to do this. This is a dream job, and thank you for thinking of me. And I explained to him my Netflix special comes out that week. The day before. Let me talk to my publicist to get me out of all this stuff. So please give me some time to I'll get right back to you. And I said, please just give me a couple days before you call Queen Latifah.
And he gave you the time.
He said okay. And he said okay. Yeah.
How much time between your saying yes and the actual the live show? How much time did you have?
Maybe, I'm gonna say like 3 weeks or a month. It was like a month or 3 weeks. I can't. It all just kind of like flew by. Next thing you know, we're at the table read. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. And these were like real episodes. They did All in the Family, and then they did The Jeffersons.
Right.
The same scripts from what, 40 years ago?
Over 40 years ago.
More than 40 years ago, which have such resonance still today. What was it like?
What?
No, you're good. What was it like playing Louise Jefferson a script from the 70s in 2019?
Well, I know these characters. We grew up watching these characters. My mom and dad, family members used to tease them and call them George and Wheezy because of the way they would, bicker and go back and forth. It's like, oh, here come George and Wheezy, So I knew this character, and it's the same to me. They were still, still relevant. The stuff that they talk about on those shows were the same conversations that we still have today, but just with different people. But that's the beauty of a Norman Lear show. They hold up because they were having conversations that people were having in their own homes.
Mm-hmm.
So
There is one particular scene that I rewound to watch several times because it was so powerful. And that's when the doorbell rings, you open the door, and it's Florence, like the original Florence.
Yeah.
Marla Gibbs is there in the door, and they take a single shot of Jamie Foxx, who is doing this, trying to hold. To me, it looked like he was trying to hold it in. And then they do a single shot of you, and you're smiling, but you could feel the emotion that I felt coming through the television. Was that the way it was on set? Were people trying to just hold it together?
absolutely.
Because this icon just pokes her head.
Absolutely, absolutely, and it was also just the
Oh, these are the questions.
okay, all right. I was
Thank
like,
you.
I was about to do some some Avengers shit. I was like, she almost got a mug in her. She almost got a mug up to her skull. I'm serious. I ready. But also, to me, it was I'm on stage, right, and I'm opening the door for Marla Gibbs, and I just like, how many doors did she open for me and for every other black actress out here, especially comedic actresses, So every time I open that door, I would just like, yeah, it's just and for to be that age, and she's still funny, kicking. I mean, she walked in knowing all her lines, hitting all her marks, and and she wasn't like just hanging out in her dressing room. She was like on stage watching all of us, and just so inspiring and supportive, and just an amazing woman. Yeah, I want to work with her again. We're working on something.
Oh, you are? I mean, you can break some news.
No, I know.
Is it like NSA again?
I can't say yet.
Okay, well, I mean, working with Marla Gibbs, she's 88. That was the other thing to come out of that, is that she's 88 years old.
And just
stunning.
Yeah, here's another funny thing. So Jimmy had a party at his house for the cast. Had a cast party. This was maybe like the day after we just started rehearsals, right? So I'm in both episodes, so I'm there all day, and and so we were wrapping up, and so in my dressing room packing up, and Miss Gibbs comes by, and she goes, it's been a lot of fun. It's been fun, huh? I was like, yeah, Miss Gibbs, so much fun. She's like, so what are you doing this evening? What are you doing? I said, well, Miss Gibbs, I have to go do promo, because I still had to go shoot some promo for the show. I had to go shoot my promos and all, and then I'm not sure. I wasn't even thinking about, And she goes, okay, all right, okay. And then she leaves. So then later on that night, I get to the party. I'm like, hey, everybody, yeah, cool. And I look, and there's Miss Gibbs sitting on the sofa. She's watching the basketball game, watching the playoffs. And I walked in, I thought about it. I was like, Miss Gibbs, did you Hollywood me today? And she was like, what? She's like, you didn't think I was invited, did you? Oh. She started laughing, and both of us just started laughing. She's like, you never know, you never know. You never know.
Oh, man. Before I ask the question that made me burst out laughing as you were talking about the tender moment with Marla Gibbs, there is a question here from Natalie.
Okay.
Who are some of your favorite comedians, alive and or dead? And she wants it to be known, you are one of mine.
Oh, thank you, Natalie. Like I
there
said,
she is.
well, thank
waving.
you. Okay, thank you. I mentioned Jackie Mamas Mabley, Dick Gregory, loved watching Joan Rivers on The Tonight Show. Yeah, I would stay up and watch her. Of course, you know, Richard Pryor, George Carlin. I know I'm forgetting some people. And like comics today, you know, let me see, Eddie Murphy, Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, Dave Attell, Keith Robinson, Whoopi.
Everybody.
Yeah, I love this. And there's a lot of young comics that I could name, you wouldn't know who they are. So, yeah.
Okay. We've talked about Lucas.
Yes.
You haven't said anything about Olivia, his twin. Anything funny things from your daughter?
You know, my kids, they're awesome. They really are. They're sweet kids. They're, you know, they're kind. So far, we're doing a good job, and just hope they don't, you know, turn bad. Just hope they don't turn bad. Yeah.
And your wife, Alex?
She's amazing. Yeah. And she likes when I talk about her. You know, like I'll come home and she's like, so how did my jokes do tonight? You killed, baby. Oh, okay, all right.
Is she anywhere near the business of Hollywood or comedy, or is she completely removed from it?
Completely removed from it. Yeah. But oh, she loves a red carpet though. She's gonna show up for a red carpet.
I've seen the pictures, y'all.
Yeah.
Glam.
Oh well, thank you. Yeah. She dolls up. It's pretty good.
So here's the question that made me laugh, because it's another. I don't want to call it member of the family, but here's the question from Jennifer Ray. How is Esther handling your busy schedule?
Esther is out of control. Esther is out of control. Esther made me have spaghetti last night. For those of you who don't know, you know, you hit your 40s, you know, I got this fat roll, and you know, I tried doing crunches, and I tried everything, and it just didn't go anywhere, so I just named it. It's Esther Roll.
Is it really Esther Roll?
It's Esther Roll. I named her Esther Roll. Fat roll, it's Esther Roll. Esther loves bread, alcohol, cheesecake, that's it. Last night, you know, because I had a long day of press yesterday, so we get back to the hotel, and I'm looking. I was like, you know what to do? I'm gonna get a piece of fish. And they had hen of the woods mushrooms. I said, they'll be good, and some broccoli rabe. That'll be a wonderful, wonderful meal. That's what I want to have. And as soon as the waiter said, "May I help you?" I want the spaghetti. I was like, that's not what we want. Come on, this got crab. That's like fish. I have the spaghetti.
Now, you've been talking about Esther.
She's the worst. She's awful.
So after I watched Not Normal, I went back and watched I'ma Be Me for, I think, for me, probably the 6th time.
Wow.
Because it's so good. And that was just after President Obama had been elected president, and you were riffing on President Obama and Mrs. Obama, and then you introduced us to Esther. So it's been 10 years of Esther. How has Esther changed or matured in between I'ma Be Me and Not Normal?
She's much more vocal. and she's gotten stronger.
Wait, how stronger?
Well, like I said, I wanted a piece of fish last night. And as she's very persuasive, she's like, fuck that fish, you know. And she lets me know you're not gonna be happy.
Uh-huh.
and she just builds all this confidence up. You know, it's her confidence, but she's so confident it just takes over my decision making when it comes to food. You know, like I'm trying to eat sensible, and she's like, you know, she's like, girl, that French woman ain't going nowhere. Come on, let's live a little.
Well, you say you talk about in Not Normal how your wife, you caught her eyeballing Esther.
Yeah.
And making a little face.
Like, oof, yeah. She's not happy with Esther. She'll tell me, baby, you have to stop listening to Esther, or yeah, or I'll go. We should get a piece, and she's like, that's Esther talking. That's Esther.
And what does Esther say about Alex?
Esther does not care for her at all. She does not like her at all. Yeah, she's like, just you wait. She's gonna have a little Estelle one day.
Wait, so is there how much is there an age difference?
10 years.
10. Okay, well, let's see, right now it's a 14-year age gap between me and my husband.
Okay.
No, 13. Then my birthday comes, and then it's 14.
Okay.
Any
older? Yeah.
Oh no, we're about the same age.
Okay.
Yeah, and yeah. Does that come up? Has that been an issue? The age difference?
No.
Yeah.
It hasn't. Only, but see, and even that, it doesn't come up, because music that I grew up listening to is different than the music that she grew up listening to, only because like she knows all this French music, right? So if I play a song, she'll like, oh, who is that? You know, and it really is like a new song to her. And if she plays something, it's like, I'm like, what the hell is that awful music you're playing?
Your house too. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So here's a question from Amanda. What do you think is comedy's role, or what role can comedians play in getting out the vote and unseating Trump in 2020?
Well, comedians, I mean, it all depends on the type of comic, that you are. I mean, I like talking about, social issues and things that are important to me. But there, I'm okay with comics who just like to talk about their families, or they're just absurdists. I mean, I'm okay with that. I think, it's our jobs to speak truth to power. And I think the more we point out, hypocrisy and injustice, that it helps. That it helps us as a pool of voters. It helps us as a society, and hopefully I want to spark conversation. I want people to, when they walk out of a show, to go, that's funny, but she kind of made a point about this topic, and how do you feel about that? And to actually start some conversation.
So it's
Yeah.
not just
And also give you
jokes.
some hope. Yeah.
You mentioned hypocrisy, which took me immediately to the White House Correspondents' dinner, and what happened with Michelle Wolf, who was the last comedian 2 years ago.
Right.
You did the White House Correspondents' dinner in 2009.
It was the first one for President Obama.
Right, and you got into a little bit of trouble for that, and I rewatched it.
So he got in trouble because he laughed at a joke I did. Yeah.
Oh, wait, he laughed at the Rush Limbaugh
Right.
joke, which, all these years later, I watched and I thought, ooh, that was edgy, but it was funny. The intense reaction that you got then, and the intense reaction that Michelle Wolf got in 2018, because it was just last year. Do you think that the White House Correspondents Association should continue to not have a comedian do the dinner? Because that's one of the most thankless jobs there is. It's State of the Union response, Oscar host, and White House Correspondents comedian.
Absolutely. You're right. Right. I don't. But the fun of that gig was that the president is there. That's the fun part of it. That you get to ridicule the most powerful person in the country. And what says freedom of speech more than that, right? So, yeah. So when you take that away, it just kind of undermines journalism, I think, and what and why you're there, to me it's like if you're not gonna have a comic, then why just have a big donation thing and take care of your scholarships, funds, and all that. But it's why?
What was your reaction to Michelle
It's great.
Wolf's routine? I was in the hall that night for that routine. It was loud. Her jokes were way over edgy, and I thought she was brilliant. But the scuttle at the big brunch the next day was, oh my God. Oh, was it disrespectful? And do you think the reaction to her routine was an overreaction?
Absolutely. And I don't think she would have gotten that response if she were a man. There's no way. I mean, I'm telling you, when I tour, right? I'm touring, and even like the Trump jokes and the things that I do, I see people get mad and walk out. How dare you talk about the president like that? Who do you think you are, talking about the president like that? And they go home and watch Stephen Colbert. So it's like white guys are, you can joke and we get it. It's like wink, wink. Okay, we'll tolerate that. But how dare a woman go after the president and a black woman? People just get more incensed by it.
Well, talk about being a comedian, a woman comedian and a black woman comedian. Has it changed? Has it gotten better for you in the business since you got in, or are there still hurdles and obstacles that even Wanda Sykes has to face in 2019?
Well, it's gotten better because we have more outlets. There are more buyers now, so that's just made it. That's made it better. But the pay inequality still exists. But I will say overall, yes, it has gotten better.
Can I ask you about?
You've asked me too much. No.
Let me ask you about Roseanne.
Okay.
And what happened with Roseanne. Were you surprised or shocked by the tweets, but initial tweet that ended up doing her in?
I knew Twitter was a bad thing for her. I knew that. That was from working with her on Last Comic Standing. Because she was my company, Pusher Productions, my business partner, Paige Hurwitz, and I, we have a company, and we did Last Comic Standing. We brought that back, and Roseanne, we went after her to be a judge and had a lovely dinner with her, and she was so, like, yeah, I want to work with you ladies. This is so cool. You have this company, and yeah, let's bring on, people of color. Let's open this up. Bring in more women on the show. Blah blah blah. So I'm like, yeah, all right, Roseanne. I knew you were cool. I like this. All right, good. And then as the show, went along, I was like, one night looking at Twitter, I was like, I don't understand any of this. It's all like conspiracy theories, and she's retweeting like weird stuff. I started like, Paige, we gotta get her off of Twitter. And had a conversation with her daughter or whatever, and thought we kind of took care of that. So, cut to years ahead, and Bruce Helford, who was a showrunner for my first sitcom, Wanda at Large. He's like, hey, bring Roseanne back. We'd love to have you in to consult. Absolutely, And things were going great. And I kind of said to him, I said, is she still on Twitter? you might want to. And he said, yeah, we've talked to her. I was like, okay. Just going along this, the ratings through the roof, all good. We're coming back for the second season. And I was emailing Bruce that morning to let him know, I know the writers start this week, but I'm not going to be there for the next 2 weeks because I'm doing this show over Comedy Central, the other two, so boom. And I pick up my phone, and it's just like my text messages was like, what the hell, blah, 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 that, blah, 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 everything. And I looked at it, and I opened it up, and I saw the tweet, and I was like, oh, damn. And I showed it to my wife, and I was like, I can't go back, huh? And she was like, oh, no. I was like, yeah, I know, I can't go back. I said, I can't do this. So I emailed Bruce, and I emailed Tom Warner, and I know they were just in it. So I know they couldn't get back to me, but I was just thinking, right now I'm associated with the show, and I do not want to be associated with this show. So that's when I just sent the tweet saying, I will not be returning to Roseanne. Yeah.
So Push It Productions, that's your production company.
Yes. We did my special. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did the special. How many other projects do you have cooking, in addition to the one with Marla Gibbs that you won't tell me about?
Quite a few. Yeah, I have another
all comedy?
thing. Yes, all comedy. Now, actually, we have a documentary that we're working on too, but it's about comedy. Mm-hmm. But yeah, but it's just in a documentary. So yeah, we have a lot of projects going on right now. We're very busy.
So with Not Normal, for those who haven't seen it, what do you hope they take away from it?
I hope they take away from it that I love my country, and I want us to get back to normal, back to who we are. Remember what we stand for, and let's act. Let's do something. Yeah.
Last question. Much to your relief. Yes, ma'am.
So you haven't seen the other special, What Happened, Miss Sykes?
No.
See, you know what?
Wait, who else has seen that? Ooh, where is it?
Well, I did it on Epix, so that's probably the problem.
Oh.
But it's now streaming on, I think, Hulu and Amazon.
What
Happened, Miss Sykes?
What Happened, Miss Sykes?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look when you said Hulu.
Amazon. Epix. It's probably still streaming on Epix.
Okay, and that's with an X.
Mm-hmm. So that was the one in between. It's a nice bridge from I'm Gonna Be Me to Not Normal.
Oh.
What Happened, Miss Sykes? It's a nice bridge.
I feel bad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Ms. Sykes.
You'll find out how Esther, you know.
Oh, the interregnum? Oh,
Yeah,
okay. All right, seriously, the last question is, what gives you hope?
What gives me hope? The kids, like especially like the Parkland kids, they give me hope. The young lady, what is her name?
Emma?
Emma Gonzalez, yes. But also, I mean, as far as like the gun control, the Parkland kids, they give me hope. The young lady, Greta is her name. She's going all around the world talking about climate change. Yes, they give me hope.
Wanda Sykes, and I didn't even ask you about Pootie Tang, but Wanda Sykes, your special Not Normal on Netflix. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.